24 candidates have finished Trick Tower and passed the third level of the Hunter exam. Hisoka, Gitaraker, Hanzo, Jareta, Pockel, Gaz, Agon, Ponzu, Ryu, Cyper, Shishido, Q, Sami, Umori, Imori, Amori, Badoro, Kenmi, Bourbon, Kurapika, Killua, Gon, Leorio, and Tanpa are among them. They have successfully escaped Trick Tower, says Lippo. He informs them that the fourth phase will take place on Zebel Island and that it is the final phase. The third examiner from the Trick Tower has a wheeled table with a box on it. He then tells them they need to draw lots. The examinees act surprised and Lippo tells them it is to determine who will hunt and who. They will draw the 24 cards in the order they left the tower. Each card has an ID number on it. The number 384 is first drawn by Hisoka. After him comes Gitaraker, who draws 371. Jareta draws 405, Hanzo 197, and Pockel 105. Next to the Amori brothers, Badoro, Shishido, Agon, and Kurapika, meaning everybody, but Gon's group has now drawn a card. Gon asks Killua if will they have to fight each other, to which he answers probably. After Killua draws number 199, Kurapika draws number 16. Next, Gon draws the number 44. Leorio is last and draws with style, number 246, and Tanpa draws number 403. Lippo instructs them to reveal the number on their badges by removing the seal. He explains that the revealed number is their intended target. Many candidates cover their badges right away. Gon is shocked to have drawn Hisoka's number. Lippo informs the candidates that the box has a record of who drew which card. Since their goal is to steal their target's badge, it is acceptable for them to remove their ID tags. Imori is relieved that they don't have to kill each other. The examinees are free to steal ID tags in any way they see fit, even by killing the intended victim. He goes on to explain the rules, saying that the ID of their target is worth 3 points, their own ID is worth 3 points if it is kept by them, and all other badges are worth 1 point. For them to move on to the next stage, they will require a total of 6 points. Their new guide Kara welcomes them and compliments them on their excellent performance during the third phase before boarding a small steamboat that will take them 2 hours to reach Zebel Island. Nobody makes any noise. She winks at them, telling them that all 24 of them are already qualified to take the exam next year. She advises them to try again the following year if they don't succeed this time. The complete lack of response makes her depressed. Kurapika tells Leorio that the battle has already begun and Leorio agrees to tell him that everybody has already removed their plates and hid them. For the next 2 hours, Kara tells them to do as they please and to enjoy the boat ride. Leorio asks if he is Kurapika's target and if he would show him any mercy. Kurapika answers, naturally, if you would happen to be my target, I would say the same thing. Leorio doubts him and asks again if he is his target. Kurapika responds that he was just speculating and that he shouldn't worry because he is not his target. Leorio shouts angrily as he walks away, he's not my target either. Killua approaches Gon and asks what number he drew. Gon asks, but Killua replies that it is a secret. They laugh and Killua assures him that he is not his target. Gon says the same. Killua says to show their numbers at the same time. Killua informs Gon that he has bad luck after realizing right away that number 44 belongs to Hisoka. Gon knows and asks who number 199 is. Killua doesn't know either and he didn't bother to memorize everyone's number, thinking the game is lame. Gon is thrilled to have taken Hisoka's plate. Killua asks him if he is happy or scared. Gon replies both and that he would never be able to beat Hisoka in a straight-up fight, but only stealing his plate gives him a real shot at winning. Killua nods and departs, telling him to try his best and to make sure to stay alive. Gon tells him the same. Kara thanks them for their patience as the boat arrives at Zebel Island. Leorio gets upset when she instructs them to leave the boat in the same order as the Trick Tower. Every time someone gets off the boat, they each have to wait for 2 minutes. Killua understands that they need to wait a while before leaving. Kara explains that they will be on Zebel Island for a week and they must amass 6 points before returning to the landing site. She calls for the first person, Hisoka. According to Kurapika, those who disembark first have the advantage. Leorio agrees to tell him that they can hide and monitor their target's movements. Then Gitaracker leaves the ship, and Kara is frightened by the way he looks. Following that are Hanzo, Agon, Shishido, one of the Amori brothers, and Kurapika, in that order. Killua is next, telling Gon he will see him later, and Gon agrees. Killua decides to scout the area first. Kara calls Gon, telling Leorio that he will see him later. Then, he dashes off the boat and onto the island, believing that he must first locate Hisoka. Gon is uncertain of how to obtain Hisoka's tag. In a flashback, Gon challenged Hisoka in the Milzy wetlands. Gon then changes positions, hanging from a branch upside down, and realizes he can't steal Hisoka's tag head-on. In a long patch of grass below, he sees Q armed with a sword. He then notices that there is another candidate, Pockel, behind the candidate he is targeting. As Pockel fires an arrow from his bow at Q, Q realizes that someone is there and manages to dodge. But it cuts his arm, hurting him. Q tells Pockel that was close. Pockel stands up and Q warns him that he won't be so easy. Then, without warning, he begins to lose control of his body, falls to the ground and looks around confused. Pockel explains that the arrow was covered in a quick-acting tranquilizer, which will prevent him from moving for a week, but that he shouldn't be concerned because there is water nearby so he won't die. He collects his tag from Q's backpack after searching through it. Gon is amazed at how Pockel masked his presence while stalking his prey, and equally impressed his opponent was able to sense the arrow being fired. He knows now how to approach Hisoka. Gon grabs his fishing rod and jumps off the tree. He can use his rod to steal Hisoka's plate. He practices with his fishing rod getting apples from wood logs in one swing. He is aware that he must approach Hisoka covertly before waiting for the opportunity to grab his tag. It is obvious that, in contrast to the apple, Hisoka will be moving, giving him only one opportunity to catch Hisoka's tag while he is not paying attention. Gon ties an apple to the tree, making the wind move it, and tries to catch that, which he does. Gon is currently caught up in the predator's watchful eye, Jaretta. Gon keeps practicing this way, but it is too simple to predict the path a swinging target will take. Then a frog jumps out of some bushes, and Gon tries to catch it but fails. He understands that he must keep in mind that Hisoka will attempt to evade his attack. In order to catch Hisoka's tag, he decides to try to catch a bird by watching how it moves. The first time he tries, he fails. This surprises him, but he convinces himself that he won't succeed the first time or the second time, and he keeps trying. Meanwhile, Leorio walks through the dark forest, wondering whose number he has. Kurapika decides he should probably stay put while watching the sunset from a cliff. Gon is currently exhausted and is gazing up at the night sky while lying on the grass. He yells, "I didn't think it would be this hard." He can no longer see it clearly, and the birds have all disappeared. He makes the decision to catch one tomorrow. Jaretta has been waiting and watching him the entire time. We see Gon washing his face in the river on the morning of the following day. He grabs his rod and goes back to training. An exhausted Gon lies on the grass in the middle of the day and realizes it is useless to try to catch any birds. He considers the possibility that it may be impossible to precisely capture a bird in flight. Then he witnesses a bird pulling a fish from the river. He sees the bird watching a fish, who is watching a fly, and at the moment the fish goes to eat the fly, the bird swoops in and catches the fish. Gon is now aware that he might be able to step in at a point when his target is targeting someone else. He finally succeeds in catching a bird that is about to catch a fish that is about to catch a fly. Gon is thrilled to have figured out how to reach his objective. Jaretta is shocked that he has actually mastered the art of hunting after watching him for a while. But his obsessive focus will be his downfall.